Charles, Jen, Drew, Ryan, Jared, Joanne, Molly, Kenny, Tammy, Sue, Bob, Joyce, Tom, Tamithia, Kimberly, Jazz, and Jamie. I want to give special thanks to a lot of people in the executive part of this group that has worked with me for the last 5.5 years, 2 different terms here. Jessica, Armando, and Raphael, you weren't in my, Jessica and Armando, you're not in my immediate group, but you have been great. And all the people that you have brought out in the Hispanic community to work with us. I'm looking at the Mendozas. I want to thank you all. Those two individuals have been very good to us. Raphael is in my administration, and he has been excellent. Mary Sharon, Mary Sharon and I started this journey back in 2006 as opponents. And today, she is one of my best friends in this administration. You know that. Michelle, you're excellent, and you know that. I don't know where you are, but Michelle Lawler, she is the executive assistant to me, and she has been great. Tara, you came in with me. I hope that you can stay, but you know you have been great because you're the best field person I've ever seen, and a lot of people will contest to that. Chris, you came back to us. And I'm glad you've been with us. I don't know where y'all are, if y'all behind me. Thank you, Chris. You have been great. Deborah and Adam. There's not enough I can say. Deborah Foshi and Adam Campo have been the true soldiers in this administration, have been good friends. Deborah and I met when I was on the parish council, and Deborah came with me over here and has done an excellent job. Adam worked with me in the parish council, left to go work for the city of Kenner, which was good for him. And also, he has continued to work in this administration, which has been great for me. The political people that stood by me, Byron Lee, Troy Carter, I can't say enough. Warren Moon, what a wonderful endorsement to have with those 2 gentlemen. Along with the rest of the African-American community, it has done great. When I talk about Raphael, I want to talk about the Hispanic community, which has done great for this administration. Jennifer Van Rankin stood by me along with Byron Lee in spite of everything that was going on in the parish, and I appreciate that. Ike and Trey, you've been great, my 2 PR people. But before I go to the family, I want to thank Nick and Jemmy. Nick and Jemmy stood up with family issues in there and stood with me and continued to support me. Did a piece, mail piece, and stood by me. He couldn't be here tonight, and I understand that, but thank you, Nick. He's been great. Of course, I want to thank Ben, my son, Brittany, my daughter-in-law-to-be, Blake, you've been there every Saturday. Won't forget that. My mother, Dee Dee, for sure. But of course, Dawn. And I always end with Dawn. And if I forgot you, I'm sorry, because look, it is important that I remember everybody. But without her, none of this happens. And she said a while back, she said, you need to do it for 2 reasons, for the city of Kenner and for our family. Because the mudslinging started early on, and that's what has happened tonight. But I accept that, and I accept Dawn's support continuously. She's always been there for me. And she started with this with 2006. She may be a little relieved, actually, after tonight. But look, the important part here is the city of Kenner. And the election's over with. I am going to work with everyone, those that have asked for me to go away, those that didn't vote for me, those that did vote for me, but particularly our police chief, who will be the next mayor of the city of Kenner, July 1st, and I pledge to work with him. I will call him in a little bit and tell him that also. I know there's probably a big party over at Chateau Country Club, and I understand that, but I will continue to work for the people of Kenner. We were here since 1939 with my grandparents. We will continue to move this city forward and work with that and make sure that our legacy continues through the new mayor. So I accept that. I'm sure the media has some questions. Maybe not. That's even better. See you. Good night. But I appreciate y'all being here. This is still a party. We don't have to go home. If anybody wants to go to Chateau, I understand that. But if you do go to Chateau, pass on the message to the mayor-elect that I extend my greetings to him, and I will work with him. We're not strangers in politics. We've worked for the last few years. I'm going to turn this over to my friend, and I will continue to say my friend, Mike Segura. Mike Segura. I'm not turned over yet. Mike Segura and I have been friends for a long time. Mike Segura have not always agreed, and that's fine. Mike Segura and I have been through a lot of tough battles together, against each other, with each other, and I stood strong with him. And because I stood strong with him, I'm moving on. But I do not regret one thing. Nick and Jimmy asked me that about 2 months ago. He said, do you regret not just walking away from the chief of police race? No, I do not. I stood with my friend who stood with me, who stood with good government for the city of Kenner. I will continue to stand with Mike Segura. I don't know what Mike's plans are, but I will continue to stand with him and move this city forward. And I know Mike Segura, as District 2 councilman, for the next 3 months, will do the same thing. Mike, thank you.
Well, these events like this can be great or they can be bittersweet. I've been through many of them with my over 40 years in City of Kenner government. 1973, when I first came on the Kenner Police Department as a young policeman and was just interested in keeping the city safe, and spent my first 7 years in narcotics, and that was quite an adventure for me. But then as times roll on with Chief Lentini, I started getting the understanding of the political side of having an elected police chief, and that's a good thing though, because an elected police chief works for you and should not work for other people that are not the citizens of Kenner. But with that, my tenure with the Kenner Police, like I said, now a little over 40 years or so, will be coming to an end. Obviously, there's no place for me to be over in the Kenner Police right now. I wish the new chief the best. Obviously, I've worked with 4 different chiefs of police during my career, so I've seen them come through and work with their change in strategies. So I'm hopeful that this chief, the new chief, Mr. Conley, will keep foremost the #1 concern, and that is work for you, work for the people of the city, not the other folks that, in this case, helped get him there. The next thing is to be mindful that the employees of the Kenner Police, and I'm talking from the lowest level, citizen or civilian, all the way through the high-ranking police officers, all do a valuable job to help keep the Kenner Police moving forward and help protect you. So I hope that that understanding continues, and that he will do well with serving and leading all of the employees of the Kenner Police, and then the future ones that will be coming under his regime. So again, I do want to thank my wife, Joanne, for being with me for my over 40 years of, you know, not the political side that much, but certainly not knowing if I was coming home that night. For many years, especially when I was doing my narcotics work, sometimes we didn't come home for a couple of days, and she didn't know where we were. But that was just part of the job at the time, and she endured and kept with me, so I'm certainly thankful for that. We were fortunate and had one son, Scott, and we had a just a great life, raising him up, and so it is also bittersweet. We're not sure of his numbers, but I got to think that they're probably in line with Ben and I. That's just what happens when you have one side and another side. One side's going to win and the other side doesn't. So we accept that and move forward. My son has blessed me with 6 wonderful grandchildren. They're all right over there. Thank y'all. My daughter-in-law, best daughter-in-law I could have right now. Well, it's the only one I got, I guess. So, but with that, we will continue to do what we can to make Kenner the best place to work and live. As Ben said, I still have my last 3 months as the councilman for District 2. So I will continue doing what I know is the good government and the right thing to do for the city. Hopeful some things that have been brewing and coming up will settle down because of the change now, and we won't have some of the council meetings that we had where we had some tough topics. But I look forward to my last 3 months as the councilman, and then that will wrap up my service to the city of Kenner, 40 plus years. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to hope us well, wish us well, and thank you for your help to get us to a point where we felt we could have won this, but obviously things don't always work out the way we all planned, but then again, that's God's will. So we live with that and accept it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I would try to list names too, but I know I'm going to leave them off. So as I look around, just understand that I am thanking each and every one of you that are here, because I know what you did to help us. So with that, I guess no questions either, right, guys? Okay, well, we're going to still be around and have some good conversation for the rest of the evening, and then sure. As we do this, and we feel very bad when someone whispers in your ear, wait, you got to mention this person. Okay.
No, for both of us. For both of us.
Right, that's what I'm saying. For both of us, but he's like, oh wait, we do have some names that he was listing, and even though, like I said, I'm going to try not to, because this is why you're going to forget. But Mr. Tullio, where's he at? And Don Jose, right there. Thank y'all. The rest of the Hispanic community that was helping us out, we're not going to forsake you. We're going to still do what we can do. I'll still do what I can do.
All right, it is an early night for Mike Segura and incumbent Mayor Ben Zahn in the city of Kenner. Both of their concession speeches here right now, live on WDSU. These races are looking solo like landslides for Keith Connolly and Michael Glazer.
Yeah, and you can see there in the polls and the results coming in there with about 58% of the results coming in. Michael Segura at 32%. Keith Connolly leading by a lot at 68%, and his camp already declared Keith Connolly the winner there as well. So we got 2 concession speeches there, as they are all there at the Chateau Country Club in Kenner.
And it's clearly a shifting dynamic in the city of Kenner. A lot is going on in the mayor's race. Obviously, the council gave Ben Zahn a vote of no confidence. There are allegations and investigations going on, some of them federally, surrounding garbage contracts, surrounding IDA overtime pay for employees. So there has been a lot going on, and clearly voters have spoken. I mean, this race may end 70-30. Rarely do you see incumbents anymore in cities the size of Kenner lose, and lose like that. He was gracious in his concession speech, saying he'll work with the next administration, but an overwhelming defeat for incumbent Mayor Ben Zahn.
Just a little over an hour after polls closed, Travers. Usually we carry concession speeches and victory speeches around 10 o'clock or 10:30. Here we are less than an hour after polls closed at 8 o'clock tonight.